there in the land of YouTube. What's going on out there in the land of YouTube? How is everybody doing today? How's everybody doing? I'm stoked. Today is my 48th. Whoop, whoop. Let me pause. Let me pause that. Just real quick. Let me make sure that there it is. Okay. So today is my 48th birthday. I am beyond the moon, excited about how far we've come. I mean, you know, I'm just going to talk about this for a second, and then we're going to jump right into Terry versus Ohio, and I'm going to go over one of my favorite channels' presentations, and that's going to be the Real News Network. Let me just get this thing stood up here. I'm a little bit behind because, to be perfectly honest with you, for the past 2 days, I've been eating a lot of cookies and smoking a lot of weed, and just kind of for the past 48 hours, I guess. Witch on Fire, thank you guys so much. I appreciate that. I finally did do an Amazon wish list. I put it in the thing. Probably the biggest thing that is the downer for me with the van being stolen is that all my tennis shoes were stolen. So on the Amazon wish list, you'll see a lot of technical stuff. I put stuff on there. This is an emergency birthday broadcast. So thank you all for coming. I'm so super grateful. Everybody, let me know where you're watching from real quick, and hit the like button. Hit the like button if you would. I would really appreciate that. Hey, you doing, Tuffy? Good to see everybody. Good to see everybody. So I just want to take a second, because I want to take a second and I want to reflect on some things. I just got out of the shower, so if I have any shaving cuts or anything like that, I just got out of the shower. Make sure you guys hit the like button real quick. Even if you're watching this tomorrow or the next day, just hit the like button. Just hit it. We're going to go over one of my favorite channels' videos today, and the video that they put up is what's going on, Hamzi? How are you? Chevy, Aaron, so good to see all my friends on my birthday. You guys don't really understand. I guess some of you do. Some of you do. The metamorphosis that's happened for me as a person as I've been on this journey. When I left Los Angeles in October of 2021, and I said that I'm going to travel the country and I'm going to expose that there is just corruption all over the place in this country, no matter which city I go to, big or small, no matter which cop shop it is, whether it's a sheriff, a town's cop, a borough, a tribal police officer, whoever it's going to be, there is going to be corruption in policing. And so I started this journey in October of 2021, and I went over to Missouri and I tried to get justice for Caleb Slay, who was murdered. Rest in peace, Caleb Slay. Prayers for you, son. But now, as I've been down this journey and you guys have seen me, and a lot of you guys have come along for the ride with me, you guys have seen, whether I'm in California, Arizona, Texas, Massachusetts, New York, it doesn't matter, Florida, what others, Oklahoma, Ohio, obviously, Oregon, Texas, every single state that I go to, every county, every city I go to is experiencing the same barrage of police overreach, of a prison state, police state. You can't drive around in most midtowns or small towns in America unless you live in a city after 1 a.m. without facing being pulled over by people who call themselves law enforcers. And our founding fathers, God rest their souls, would roll over in their graves if they could, and they knew that right now there were men and women walking on the surface of America, on the earth, and saying that they're law enforcers. So let's take a second real quick. And just reflect on what successes we have had as I entered onto YouTube in January. So actually that wasn't true. In December of 2021, a guy named Disorderly Product News, DPN, he took one of my videos and then he filtered it, however he edited it, and then that went viral. And that was the Nardini stop in Arizona. And now since that time, in December of 2021, we have seen across the YouTube spectrum, ubiquitously across social media, we have now seen and introduced the term torture cuffs. And so every single person who watches this video, every single activist, auditor, however you identify yourself, they should always be called torture cuffs. Always torture cuffs until we get rid of them. In my opinion, the lowest hanging fruit is getting rid of torture cuffs and attack dogs. Those are our two lowest hanging fruits. And so anybody who has neuropathy that's been hurt in the last 2 years, I want them to contact me. Those are the cases that we want. We want to sue those police departments. We want to get a change. We want to get a change. McTribe Oregon said that I'm high. 100%. It's my birthday. It's Sunday. I started smoking last night. What are you talking about? I started smoking last night and I haven't stopped. my face hurts from all the sugar that I've eaten. Like you can see it in my face. Look how puffy I am from eating just so many cookies. I ate so many cookies. Like you have no idea. Because I was dieting so hard for so long, and now it's like I can eat again, so I'm happy to eat. But after my birthday, I'm going to start to dial back in and get myself back in shape. And I push back the don't push the button probably Thursday, Friday this week. I've got to finish Anthony's video in Massachusetts. I have a video coming up of a man out of Massachusetts who's been railroaded by the feds. It's a political prosecution. And now they want to put him in prison and there's no victim. I mean, if there's no victim, no time. It should be that simple. No victim, no arrest. No victim, no going to a dungeon. And we have to get tougher, stronger, and get meaner with our fight. We have got to push the fight harder than ever before. We really, really do. Because, McCrab, Oregon, you're kind of just trolling, brother. Take care of yourself, though, man. God bless you. God bless you. I wish you best on your journey, my friend. Whatever mission you've decided to take on, I hope it's a good one for you, brother. All right. So now let's get into, so listen, this is one of my favorite channels. There's going to be a wee tiny bit of education on it, but this is one of my favorite channels. I love this channel. I love this. I love the whole thing that they do. And I want to get into the details of this. But so now here's going to be the difference between before I was here on YouTube and now that I am here on YouTube. I'm going to show you guys the difference of just, the change that I think that I've instilled. And hopefully now more and more people will start to use the proper terminology. But this is an amazing channel, and I want you guys to make sure everybody subscribes to this channel. This is easily one of the top channels from my perspective. What's going on, Chuck P, David Turner, Golden State fan? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How you doing? Good to see you, my friend. Good to see you, my friend. Oh, let's do. Thank you. I appreciate it. God bless you guys. Let me put, so listen, this is going to go on my website anyway. So I'm going to build up because I've told you guys what I'm doing. I'm just going to try to keep it quiet until I actually do it. Here is, I think that's it. That is it right there. So that's going to go on my website. It's in the comment section. Boom, boom, boom. Boom, 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 boom. Oh gosh, what are we doing here? What are we doing there? What is going on? What are we doing there? What are we doing there? Thanks to everybody who's come by for my birthday. I super appreciate it. I super appreciate it. Let's try to stay focused on what we're doing here. Let's try to stay focused on, what we're here talking about today. This lighting never goes good with this. I got one of these dang ring things, but from my perspective, I don't think they're very good. I mean, or maybe I just got a piece of poo. I don't know. But I never like it. I'm never happy with it. Plus, I don't like it. So, okay. So now we're gonna watch this video right here, and this video. Let me kill the lights in here so that you guys can see the screen better. You can see the screen a lot better if I turn the lights off in here real fast. Just take a second. There we go. One more light to go. Make sure these lights off real fast. Okay. Okie dokie pokey smoky. So let me turn that bad chicken off. There we go. Okay, so if you guys would please make sure everybody goes over here. As you guys can see, I already have liked it. I already am subscribed to this channel. This is one of the best channels on YouTube. It's called The Real News Network. I absolutely love this woman. Her name's Taya Baltimore. And her presentations are so spot on. I'm just gonna copy this real fast and go over to the details here. And I'm gonna put, here's the original video. Please go over there. Make sure you guys tell her that original video credit. Because remember, we wouldn't even know about this story if it wasn't for Taya over there at the Real News Network. So I put the video credit. Oh, I guess I didn't get it right. Paste, there it is. And I guess I gotta change this because now the Indestructible trifold's always just $5. So, okay, so now we got that in there. Okay, so now we're over here. We're over here on Taya's channel on the Real News Network, and we're just gonna watch part of this video, and I'm gonna interject a couple things. There's a couple things that have to be talked about here. So right here, guys, make sure we hit the comment section and say, thank you so much for exposing this. And then now here's the reason why I'm covering it, because the terminology is incorrect in here. And, you know, let's get the terminology correct. It's super, super important. And listen to her intro, and this is why she's one of my favorite channels.
Hello, my name is Taya Graham, and welcome to the Police Accountability Report. As I always make clear, this show has a single purpose: holding the politically powerful institution of policing accountable. And to do so, we don't just focus on the bad behavior of individual cops. Instead, we examine the system that makes bad policing possible. And today, we will achieve that goal by examining how the powers of policing have spiraled out of control.
Okay, so this is the reason why I'm making the video. I've said it 50 times. I literally only watch a couple channels anymore. Taya's is one that I watch. So her videos come up on my feed all the time. Now, if you take a look at when this video was made, this video is gonna premiere January 13th of 2022. Now, remember, I wasn't on the scene, and when I was on the scene in January 13th of 2022, I think I knew of her channel, but I didn't see this video back then. And, you know, what do I always talk about? So this is not police powers. This is Terry versus Ohio. And so we have to start to recognize and point out that this is not police powers. We have to frame this correctly so we can get rid of it. That's the most important thing.
And we'll do so by showing you this encounter with a San Bernardino County police officer who not only harassed one of our viewers, but went to extreme lengths to put him in jail. But before we get started, I want you watching to know that if you have evidence of police...
She's absolutely wonderful, you guys. If you haven't subscribed to Real News Network, her police accountability channel, I forget her exact acronym she calls herself, but...
Raina was walking home in his own neighborhood and more than the video I'm going to show you now. It depicts an encounter between a San Bernardino County sheriff and one of our viewers, Aaron Raina. Raina was walking home in his own neighborhood in Yucaipa, California on the evening of August 30th, 2019, when he was accosted by this officer. Let's watch.
Your ID on you? For what, sir? You're walking around in the dark. It's 81 degrees out with a sweatshirt and a hood up. So I'm seeing what you're doing.
Okay. So now what is this called right here when he says, I'm walking up to you, you're wearing a hood, it's 81 degrees and it's dark outside. What's that called, everybody? Can anybody tell me what that's called? What is that called? What is that called? When he walks up to him and says, hey, I'm suspicious of you, that's called a Terry stop. Let's make sure that we always identify what a Terry stop is. And what's the difference? No probable cause. There's no problem. What does the Fourth Amendment say? The Fourth Amendment is the right of the people to be secure in their person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. And no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause, supported by oath or affirmation. This is a Terry stop. and it's not identified properly.
Take the light out of my face, please.
Take the light off me.
You don't have a light on you.
Officer.
Do you have ID with you?
Yeah.
Okay, can I see it?
For what?
To confirm who you are and where you live.
I don't need to answer questions like that, officer.
How old are you?
I'm 35 years old.
Okay.
So he shouldn't have answered that question. He shouldn't answer any questions.
Do you have ID with you?
Yeah.
Okay, can I see it?
No?
No?
I'm not legally obligated to show you that, officer.
You're right, you're not.
Therefore, I will not.
Okay, what's your date of birth?
6/15/84.
6/15/84, what's your last name?
I don't need to give you that information, officer.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna confirm who you are, so you can either provide that to me or not. It's up to you.
How do you plan on doing that?
What's that?
How do you plan on doing that?
You can be a normal person and say, hey, my name is Joe
A
Smith.
normal officer would say, there's no problem here, sir.
Yeah, you're walking around in the dark with a hood on, sweatshirt, and it's 81 degrees.
It's not my
Black
fault.
backpack.
Their street has absolutely no street lights, sir. It's not
I
my
didn't say
problem.
anything about the lighting.
You just said it's dark.
You're walking around in the dark
Yes,
at
sir.
night,
Yes, sir.
81 degrees with a hood up and sweatshirt on.
It's
and
not
a black
81.
backpack. It is. It's extra temperature.
Does that bother you?
No. Last name?
So this entire interaction is happening because of Terry versus Ohio. Without Terry versus Ohio, this can't happen. It would be an immediate harassment charge against the cop. It's plain as day. This is a Terry stop. This is what Tay's talking about.
Officer.
Okay.
First, it's important to note that Aaron was simply walking on his own street not far from his home. And second, that the officer had not witnessed him commit a crime, so he did not have reasonable, articulable suspicion to stop him.
Okay, so right there, this right here. Okay, right there, auditors, activists, persons of justice. Okay, reasonable, articulable suspicion is made up in 1968 in a Supreme Court case where they made it up. They made up the words. They made up that you're not arrested if you're detained. They made it up. Reasonable, articulable suspicion is not real. Activists, auditors, persons of justice, people who deeply, deeply care about changing this BS system. Tay, over there at Real News Network, Ali Baba, you're the greatest. I love your channel. I love her channel. This video from 6 months ago pops up because I've been watching all of her videos. She's great. Reasonable, articulable suspicion is created in 1968. All the activists and auditors keep saying it as though it's something real. It's fake. It's not real. And we all have to point it out. Well, since I'm here. So you understand? Reasonable, articulable suspicion. When you say that, add the caveat. That's not part of our Constitution. That's not part of, and Tay's going to call it police powers, but let's just make sure that we identify it properly. Let's make sure we identify that that's not a police power. That was created in 1968. It was created in 68. It's not real. That's fake. We don't stop. Love you too, brother. So that's made up garbage. So we have to start to recognize that as a public, that the Fourth Amendment is the right of the people to be secure in their person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures. It says, but the biggest part of the Fourth Amendment, the top dog of the Fourth Amendment, right? The number one thing that everybody should read when they read the Fourth Amendment, the number one thing, what does the Fourth Amendment say? The Fourth Amendment is the right of the people. The Fourth Amendment is the right of the people. Don't forget that right there, the most important part. The Fourth Amendment is the right of the people to be secure in their person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated. Well, where does reasonable, articulable suspicion fall into that? It doesn't. It's fake. It's made up garbage. And we are still shoveling it amongst each other as activists and persons of justice. Reasonable articulable suspicion is an exact byproduct of Terry versus Ohio. Everybody has to spread that with other people. People think that reasonable articulable suspicion is a real thing, a legitimate thing. It's not, it's fake. Love you. You're one of the best ones on the internet. I'm not sure if you guys know that or not. If everybody's not subscribed to Real News Network, please go over there and make sure you guys subscribe and tell her DeletelawZ sent you. I just love her channel, man. She's so good.
But that didn't prevent the officer from threatening him with arrest. Let's watch.
Look, officer, no legal obligation to do so. Therefore, can you please stop harassing?
I'm not harassing.
Yes, you are.
Can you give me your last name and your date of birth?
No.
No? What's your address?
Excuse me?
What's your address?
Why?
Look at what a dick he
Where are you
is.
coming from?
Look at what a dick he is.
Okay, you're coming out of the front yard
Out of what front yard?
over here on the street on date.
Is that what you think?
That's what it looked like, yeah.
Okay.
So where do you live at?
Persimmon.
Okay. What's your address on Persimmon?
Why? Wait, how are you going to confirm that?
Okay, do you have your ID on you?
Are you going to go over there and go ask somebody if I live there? Go ahead.
Do you have your ID on you?
Yeah, I do.
Okay, can I see it?
I am not legally
time.
obligated to, and last
Last
time,
time.
I'm not legally obligated to show you that, officer.
1411.
Look at him. Look at him. Upset that he can't violate the guy's rights. He wants to violate this guy's rights, and the fact that he won't allow him to simply violate his rights. Look at this jackboot thug tyrannist. Look at his response. Look at what he does.
Okay, can I see it?
I am not legally
time.
obligated to, and last
Last
time, I'm not legally
time.
obligated to show you that, officer.
Last time. Yeah,
1411. You're right, you're not.
you're right, you're not. So then he recognizes, Rumble just put her link in there, guys. Please click on the link for Real News Network and subscribe to the channel. Thank you, Philly. I appreciate it. Thanks for the birthday wishes. God bless. But look how upset he is that he can't violate his rights. And then he tells him, yeah, you're right. The story twists.
Walk over to my car,
For what, officer?
because now you're being detained.
For what?
To confirm your ID to make sure you're not out here breaking the cars.
What crime is that?
What crime is that?
Yes, sir.
Let's see, it's called burglary, it's called
I'm not, did you see me burglarizing? officer?
California and date, HMA.
Look at
Oh,
him.
prowling, yeah.
I'm not prowling.
Wait, check. Walk over to my car.
No.
But
I would-
even though Aaron knew his rights and was clear to the officer that he was not willing to relinquish them, the cop kept pushing him for identification.
Great job,
Let's
Tay.
listen.
Walk over to my car, put your phone down. You're being detained, walk over to my car.
For what crime, officer? For what crime am I being detained?
We're prowling, walk over to my car.
Prowling.
Prowling.
California date.
Disgusting.
Oh, get your ID out.
Huh?
No.
Get your ID out, please.
My ID?
Your ID card.
Officer, I have no legal obligation to show you that. Why would I?
That's fine. Do you have anything on you? Just gonna poke me, stick me, or stab me? I'm gonna pat you down.
No.
Now, this is where my previous point about police power becomes essential to the story.
Okay. Let's stop right there. Let's listen to what she says again, and let's make sure we get the right.
Huh?
Get your ID out, please.
My ID?
Your ID card.
Officer, I have no legal obligation to show you that. Why would I?
That's fine. Do you have anything on you? Just gonna poke me, stick me, or stab me? I'm gonna pat you down.
No.
Now, this is where my previous point about police power becomes essential to the story.
Okay, boom. We're gonna take a second here. Gonna take just a second. Okay, that's not police power. That's Terry versus Ohio. That's an illegitimate policy created by the Supreme Court. That's Terry versus Ohio. That's not police power. Remember, I came on the scene and I'm, on my birthday here, I'm kind of reflecting back on the changes, the positive changes that we've had as a group. And so this is my message to you guys today. When you see something like that and you recognize purely there's no probable cause to stop the person, the cop is on a fishing expedition using reasonable articulable suspicion, you as the person who's learning from this channel, from all the things that you've learned over the past year, by tuning in here, you need to recognize to people, look how amazing Real News Network is. Look how amazing their whole channel is, right? Now imagine if Tay, with her 400,000, 500,000, their channel's just, the way they present is just so good, right? So now imagine if Tay had said, this is a Terry stop. and we can focus on that Terry stop. We can focus on that. We can focus on that specific case to stop the interaction from happening. Now, the cop can detain him using the Terry policies, which originally the Terry policies were a light pat down to make sure you don't have a weapon. Today, they enter a POW style of arrest upon suspicion of you. One second. So let's go back to this video, and I just want you guys, as people who are persons of justice and other activists, especially other activists, you know, look, the thing is the law is extraordinarily specific. You know, when you talk about tort law, criminal law, realism, legal positivism, you talk about all these kinds of laws and theories. The law is very, very specific. So the best way I can give you an example is recently I've sued some people, right? The words that the people used to defame me, I can sue them for using those words. That's how specific the law is. If they had used different words, I wouldn't be able to sue them. But because they used specific terms, like saying you're running a Ponzi scheme, that is defamation because I'm not. I have an Amazon wish list. As I run my Ponzi scheme, I got tennis shoes on my Amazon wish list. My Ponzi scheme's paying off. Okay, let's get back to Tay. She's so good, man. Tay, I love you, by the way, man. You literally have become, besides, you know, Brian from High Impact Flick. Here's the deal. Obviously, he's been the Alibaba king as far as I'm concerned since I've ever started this venture. But Real News Network, I watch all their videos. So.
What we're witnessing.
Show me that. Why would I?
That's fine. You're just gonna poke me, stick me, stab me, I'm gonna pat you down.
No.
Now, this is where my previous point about police power becomes essential to the
Terry, stop.
story. Because what we're witnessing in this video isn't just an example of a cop overreaching. In fact, what we are seeing is actually how pervasive and destructive police power is.
Okay, let's do it again. And I want you to listen carefully, and I'm gonna.
Now, this is where my previous point about power becomes essential to, is what we're witnessing in this video
Is it Terry, stop?
of a cop overreaching.
Is it cops using a Terry, stop?
Actually, how pervasive and destructive
A Terry stop is.
is. What do I mean? What
I mean a Terry stop.
asserted his right to walk in his own neighborhood unimpeded, the officer persisted. Even though we know
The officer used a Terry stop.
the Constitution is the right to peaceably assemble, officer would not relent.
That's why
I know they're going to.
That's why Terry versus Ohio ruins the First Amendment. You hear what she just said? She's absolutely spot on, dead on balls, accurate, correct. She just said you have the right to peacefully assemble. Well, if the cops are suspicious of your assembly, they can break it up using a Terry stop. Spot on, Tay. Listen to what she says.
Asserted his right to walk in his own neighborhood unimpeded, the officer persisted. Even though we know one of the most basic principles of our Constitution is the right to peaceably assemble,
Bang.
the officer would not relent.
Exactly.
And yes, I know there are going to be a million cop lovers out there who are going to leave comments that the officer did indeed have reasonable, articulable suspicion.
Okay, right there. This is what I'm talking about. Activists, persons of justice. Reasonable, when you give one man absolute power over another man to investigate that man based on reasonable, articulable suspicion, he is corrupted. He becomes corrupted by power because power corrupts, but absolute power corrupts absolutely. He becomes corrupted when he can investigate someone on the street based on what he determines is suspicious. That reasonable, articulable suspicion is what we have to say is garbage. We have to say that. So she's absolutely spot on. Beautiful presentation. Everything is exactly correct as she's saying.
The officer
She's not saying anything wrong at all. I'm just trying to get to the specificity of law. The specificity. I'm stoned now, but specificity.
Persisted, even though we know one of the most basic principles of our Constitution is the right to peaceably assemble, the officer would not relent. And yes, I know there are going to be a million cop lovers out there who are going to leave comments that the officer did indeed have reasonable.
A Terry stop. Reasonable
suspicion.
articulable suspicion is a Terry stop.
Exactly is reasonable.
It's a Terry
Does
stop.
what happened actually fit the definition?
No.
Let's watch again.
No.
And reconsider the question.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. It's a
Why?
Terry stop. Clash with Bow. What's up, buddy? Good to see you.
I live over there, sir. Told you twice to come here, so come here.
I told you twice to come here, so come here.
For what, sir? You're walking around in the dark. It's 81 degrees out with a sweatshirt and a hood up. So I'm seeing what you're doing.
But even though the officer eventually let Aaron go, that's not where this story ended. Not hardly.
Get this.
Because roughly a year later, another San Bernardino sheriff showed up at his door, an encounter that Aaron caught on his cell phone and provided to us. Let's listen.
What's the warrant for? For traffic? For traffic? So what the fuck are you doing at my house? Leave.
Exactly.
Come back with the warrant.
Exactly.
Come back with the warrant.
Okay, if you're with somebody and they're admonishing the cops, do not tell them to be quiet. Leave them alone. You should stop talking. When someone's telling the cops to go F themselves, you don't tell him to settle down. You leave that person alone. Let him say what he's going to say. To leave me the F alone, you're at my house. You should not at all ever try to admonish someone who is pushing back against the pigs, because this is a pig move. He's working as the devil right now. Do you see that? He just put some horns right here. He's doing the devil's work. This man did nothing wrong. He's at home. When you admonish pigs, you do not counteract that admonishment. Listen to this.
For traffic? For traffic? So what the fuck are you doing at my house? Leave. Come back with the warrant. Stop. Come back with the warrant.
Shut up. Shut up.
Traffic? I'm in my house. I'm in my house right now. You understand that? I think you need to leave because this has nothing to do with traffic. Do you see a car here? Why are you talking to me through this? Why are you knocking on my door? For traffic? So why are you at my door?
We have a warrant for your arrest.
So as you can hear, this San Bernardino sheriff showed up at his door telling him there was a warrant for his arrest.
Jeff hates pigs. Jeff hates pigs. Chevy, Jeff hates pigs. Missed you, brother.
In fact, the cop not only refused to be specific about the charges, but he continued to try to coax Aaron to leave his home.
Don't do it.
No, you're trying to make a deal with me.
Don't leave your house. Do not open the door.
Yes, you are.
Do not open the door. Do not open the door.
Well, then go ahead and leave that there.
Missed you, Jeff.
I will sign it. You can come back tomorrow. Pick up your triplicate.
Now, fortunately, again, Aaron did not give in, and he was not arrested. But there is more to the story, which we will be hearing from him soon. But first, I'm going to check in with my reporting partner.
Okay, so now listen. What's the biggest takeaway that we all have to take from this? This is a Terry stop. That's a Terry stop. You never, if we don't identify what's going wrong, what's the biggest problem in our country is, then we're not going to be able to change it. You first have to be able to clearly identify what the problem is in the country. Because look, just so you guys know, if you give one person power over another person, they will use the power. They will use that, unfortunately. And this, you can learn this by reading The Nature of Man by Thomas Hobbes. You can learn how when men get power, they will abuse that power over another man. And then you're going to enter Montesquieu's idea of checks and balances in his book, The Spirit of Lawz. Okay, so this is where the foundational, all of this stuff makes sense if you actually take the time to read it or listen to it on audiobook. So now let's go back to Tay because she's so spot on in her assessment here. I'm going to skip through her sponsor, obviously. Let me skip through her sponsor real quick.
Who did you reach out to and what did you ask?
Well, I reached out to the San Bernardino County Sheriff's Office, to their public spokesperson. I asked them a series of questions. Number one, why was Aaron detained? What was the reasonable articulable suspicion for detaining him? Were there police reports related to this detaining? What happened after he was detained? Why was he released? And then, of course, the follow-up visit, asking questions about all that for an explanation, why they were justified and what happened.
And what was their response? Have you heard back from them?
Well, indeed, I did hear back this time. We gave him a little bit more time to respond. They said that the officer had every right to stop him because he was wearing a hoodie in 80-degree weather and walking.
He had every right to stop him because of a Terry stop. Thank you, Patricia. Thank you, guys. I appreciate the birthday wishes. Thank you so much. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming by. Hit the like button, everybody. Thank you.
So they really said that the officer had every legal right. The reasonable articulable suspicion was absolutely, constitutional, and they really didn't say there was any reason he couldn't stop him.
I want you guys to listen to this again, just real quick. Listen to the words that this reporter says.
They said that the officer had every legal right. The reasonable articulable suspicion was absolutely, constitutional, and they really didn't say there was any reason he couldn't stop him. They said that they had found that he had an FTA, as he has told us in the interview, as you'll see, for a minor traffic violation. They arrested him on that and then released him. The second visit was for that same case where he failed to appear, and there was $100,000 FTA is what they called it, $100,000 for a minor traffic infraction misdemeanor. I think that raised a lot of questions.
$100,000.
They said, no, that's very normal.
JMM.
So one has to wonder, why are they charging someone $100,000 bail on a minor traffic violation?
$100,000.
That we need more information on. I'll get back to you on that.
Part
$100,000.
of what makes this case so troubling is how much it exemplifies the broad expansion of police power. Now, I know you just-
No. Let's listen to it again. But let's get it right.
That we need more information on. I'll get back to you on that.
Part of what makes this case so troubling is how much it exemplifies the
How bad a Terry stop is, and how a Terry stop can ruin people's lives because cops can enter into your lives with no warrant and no probable cause. How bad a Terry stop has ruined America. How bad Terry allows cops to enter into our lives without a warrant. That's the
broad expansion of police power.
No,
Now, I know you just produced
the broad expansion happened in 1968 with Terry versus Ohio. That stop couldn't happen without Terry versus Ohio. Reasonable articulable suspicion is created from Terry versus Ohio. You're detained is created from Terry versus Ohio.
podcast on the topic. Can you talk to us a little bit about it?
Well, I think we need to look at power and the way it sort of expresses itself.
The way power expresses itself is from a 1968 court case called Terry versus Ohio. And after Terry versus Ohio, our prison system took off like a rocket. Here's Terry versus Ohio right here. Right along here is Terry versus Ohio. And then the prison system does this after Terry. And you can clearly see the reason why. Terry versus Ohio plus the war on drugs creates a way for cops to grab you. And then as soon as they charge you, your life is ruined. This is all about Terry. So you hear what he just said? Let me go back and listen to how crystal clear the message is.
Can you talk to us a little bit about it?
Well, I think we need to look at power and the way it sort of expresses itself. It expresses itself through action.
Through Terry versus Ohio.
Minor encounters, right? He's walking down the street, action. And in these cases, we have very, very minor encounters, right? He's walking down the street.
A minor encounter that happened because of Terry versus Ohio. The instrument that this man is using to claim dominion over the other man is called Terry versus Ohio. The way power expresses itself.
A little bit about it.
And in these cases, we have very, very minor encounters, right? He's walking down the street. Suddenly, he's got a $75,000 or $100,000 warrant with an FTA attached to it. He is just minding his own business, has not committed a crime. The officer didn't witness crime. I mean, one thing that we've seen in this country is that minor encounters with police can often lead to deadly consequences.
So, okay, you got it. That's exactly correct. So he said that often encounters with police can enter into very deadly consequences. And so you say, how can that happen? Well, Terry versus Ohio allows police to walk up to you and say, I'm suspicious of you. So then Graham versus Connor lets cops decide whatever you're doing, their level of use of force will be relevant to what they think in their mind. Probable cause exists in the mind's officer. There's the stoner slur. Probable cause exists in the officer's mind. Probable cause to believe what you could have done before you had this interaction with the cop. So he's already calling him a prowler. So he's saying that his use of force is going to be contingent on what he believes the man was doing. Oh, thank you, Tabitha. I appreciate that. Let me drink some water. Do you guys understand? So what the reporter just said, he said, I mean, he's so spot on with what he said. He said these minor interactions with police are leading to people being killed. Okay, so then now what did I say when I started this video? The specificity, I'm not even gonna try it. People are gonna make fun of me no matter what for not saying it properly, but the specificity of law is that Terry versus Ohio puts officer safety over your rights, over your First Amendment right to assemble, over your First Amendment right to be press, religion, all of it, everything. Officer safety goes over all of your rights. Officer safety is paramount. I mean, this is what's taught in every single, they always say more training. You're going to train people more that officer safety is more important than their rights. That's what the training leads to from Terry versus Ohio. And then Graham versus Connor is going to say that use of force will be determined by what the cop thinks about you. Literally, it says what the cop thinks about you, he needs to make a split-second decision. These are the words and the holdings of Graham. Officers often need to make split-second decisions. Probable cause exists in the officer's mind. Probable cause exists in the officer's mind? No, it doesn't. Probable cause is when you have broken the law and there is evidence that you have broken the law, sworn by oath or affirmation of the victim you created when you broke the law. Terry versus Ohio wipes away your Fourth Amendment right completely. To be secure in their person, houses, papers, and effects against unreasonable searches and seizures shall not be violated, and no warrant shall issue but upon probable cause supported by oath or affirmation. That is not happening. This whole video right here is a Terry stop, and then they continue to persecute and prosecute the man a year later and go to his house. But this is a Terry stop. That's what this is. So now I want you to listen to what he said again. You take Graham versus Connor, and then you add it into a Terry stop. Use of force, the probable cause exists in the officer's mind.
So when you think about it, once that officer has him in his power,
Listen,
I'll get back to you on that.
Part of what makes it.
Listen to what he
Well, I
said.
think we need to look at power in the way it sort of expresses itself. It expresses itself through action.
God bless it. God bless you, sir. It expresses itself through Terry versus Ohio, through a policy. We all have to start to point out where we see Terry stops.
And in these cases, we have very, very minor encounters, right? He's walking down the street. Suddenly, he's got a $75,000 or $100,000 warrant with an FTA attached to it. He is just minding his own business, has not committed a crime. The officer didn't witness crime. I mean, one thing that we've seen in this country is that minor encounters with police can often lead to deadly consequences. So when you think about it, once that officer has him in his power and control, anything can happen.
Okay, so how does the officer have him in his power and control? Can anybody tell me? How does he have him? I mean, listen to the words the man's saying. He's saying everything right.
In this country is that minor encounters with police can often lead to deadly consequences. So when you think about it, once that officer has him in his power.
Has him in his power is called detainment. I've detained you. Thank you, Marcy. God bless you. Thank you for the birthday wishes. You see that? Has him in his power means detainment from Terry versus Ohio.
Control, anything can happen. And we've seen it before. And most importantly, that sort of expansive power sort of infiltrates the sector.
That expensive power is the Terry versus Ohio, though.
of our civic spaces. So we have to be really cognizant that police power doesn't just evidence itself in courts and FTAs and things like that, but in their ability to police space.
And for more information on how this police stop happened, its consequences, and its fallout since, I'm joined by the man who we see in the stop, Aaron Reyna.
Great
Aaron,
work, Tay.
Thank you so
Great
much for
work.
joining me.
Look at her.
Thanks for getting back to me.
Look at her bringing the victim on. Look at her having the face-to-face interaction with the victim. Look at what she's doing for this man. She's giving this man a voice. What she's doing is what all activists are supposed to be doing. This is a home run activist. She's allowing us to meet the man who was cheated by the police. We can see the color of his eyes. We get to see how he feels about what's happened to him. This is why this is one of my favorite channels. She's doing the Lord's work here.
First, describe to me what we're seeing in the video. It seems as if you're walking through a neighborhood, minding your own business.
Yeah, that's exactly what I was doing. I was walking in my own neighborhood, headed on my way to the liquor store to grab a little bit of beer. It was, I believe, Saturday or Friday night. So I just walked right past the officer. He was parked on the same street that I was walking on where I filmed the video, and he was facing the other street. I guess check to see if cars were going by. And I walked right past him, and he let me get down the street a little bit, and then he turned his car on and started flipping a U-turn. So that's when I thought, oh my gosh, he's probably gonna stop me. So I pulled out my cell phone, and he started yelling out the window, "Where do you live at?" So I just wanted to make sure my phone was on before I addressed him. And when it was on, when I saw it was recording, I asked him again. I asked him, "Excuse me?" And that's when the video starts. And you could clearly hear him say, "Where do you live at?" And I asked him why. And he hopped out of his vehicle.
Why do you think the officer stopped you, and what was his line of reasoning?
He used a Terry stop.
I don't know why he stopped me. I mean, maybe it was a slow night for him or something, but as he told me, he said, "It's dark out, you're wearing a hoodie, and I need to know what you're doing out here."
When you give one man absolute power over another man, absolute power will corrupt a man absolutely, whether we like that or not. I'm sorry.
So that to me was his MO.
So things seem to escalate really quickly. Can you describe how the officer interacted with you? Did he say you were guilty of a crime? Because he admitted he never actually saw you commit a crime.
Beautiful.
Well, I mean, pretty much. Well, I mean, he said, "I need to find out if you're out here committing burglaries." But if he never saw me doing any of that, then he would have said, "I saw you doing this. I need to check your backpack because I think you stole exactly this item."
Hey, Logic, Rex, we should revoke qualified immunity. What does this have to do with qualified immunity?
Is where I'm going to find it. I thought he might have said something like that, like he had a reason to pull me over, but he just said, "I need to find out what you're doing." And he needed my ID so he could find out what I'm doing, which made no sense to me, but that's the way he went about it.
He's the fashion police.
At the end of the video, you were right to want to be in the light of sight with the camera.
But Logic, it's the wrong statement. It's the wrong thing to focus on, Logic. I'm not trying to pick on you, man. It's my birthday. I'm not mad at you. Thanks for coming by the channel. God bless you. I've never seen your name in here before, but I'm glad you're here. It's the wrong thing to focus on. We need to focus on Terry versus Ohio. Qualified immunity is number 6 or 7 on the list of important cases that we need to focus on. This man was accosted, assaulted. A dominion was put over him using Terry versus Ohio. It had absolutely nothing to do with Terry versus Ohio. Absolutely nothing to do with qualified immunity. Absolutely nothing.
He was trying to kind of push me toward the back because I was towards the front quarter panel of the vehicle, and I wanted to be right directly in front of the car, so he was kind of pushing me toward the back more, so I just kind of pushed forward a little bit. So that's when he said, "Don't square up with me." I told him I wanted to be in front of the camera, and he said, "There is no camera," which made no sense to me. They're supposed to have either body camera or a dash cam. So
it seems like he put you in cuffs, effectively arresting you. What?
It's not effectively. It is arrested. And this is what I'm talking about. And I'll switch over to the video in a minute. In Terry versus Ohio, they changed the definition of what arrested means so that they can detain you. The Supreme Court personnel on the court in 1968, led by Earl Warren, they changed the names They change the meaning of words so that they can put you in cuffs and they don't call it arrested. It's from Terry. This entire case is Terry. Everything that happens in this case is a Terry stop and Terry detainment. And now the policy of police is to use handcuffs to torture you. Because remember, once he gets him in torture cuffs, it's only a matter of time before he starts to talk more because he's being tortured.
Happened
He
next?
put me in cuffs. He searched through my backpack. He searched through my personal belongings, my pockets.
Thank you. Thank
He
you,
got
guys.
my wallet,
Happy
my
birthday.
ID. He ran my name, and then he said, "Oh, look at that." He called dispatch. He said, "Oh, look at that. You have a warrant, a bench warrant for your arrest." I said, "Okay."
Right. That's
So-
right. Jeff hates pigs.
So how long were you detained for?
Get
He
this.
took me out to the station, so I guess that was like 8 hours or something
An 8-hour Terry stop.
until they released me. It was like a misdemeanor traffic violation.
Something strange happened later once you were home. Can you describe what happened?
Probably like 9:18 p.m. and a deputy sheriff was banging on the door, shining his light in the window, and he's saying, "You need to come out. I got a warrant for your arrest.
Do
Come out
not.
and talk to me."
Do
I said, "A
not.
warrant for my
Never.
arrest?" I was like,
Never open that door. Never.
I haven't, I've been home all day, so to me, it just made no sense why this guy's even coming to my door. I've never seen him before in my life. And I'm asking him, "What kind of warrant are you talking about?" He's all, "It's a warrant for your arrest." I said,
Never.
Is it a bench warrant?" He said, "Yeah."
Never.
I said, "Well, what does that have to do with you coming looking for me at my house?" Eventually, he just kept trying to get me to go outside.
Don't.
So that way, he's all I got to do is to sign this ticket and then I'll leave.
No.
Which that's
No.
not the truth. What he's going to do is arrest me once I go out there.
Yes.
So
Yes.
I just told him, leave the ticket in the mailbox. Leave it in the mailbox. I'll sign it. And you can come back and pick it up. Eventually, I told him, leave the property. You've been asked plenty of time to leave. And eventually he left.
So it seems to me you understood your rights very well in that situation. Do you feel like the officer violated your civil rights?
Definitely the first officer, Officer Rose.
Okay, now here comes the sad part, guys. His rights were not violated. What happened to this man is legal. I don't know if he has a civil rights case or not. Depends on if his wrists were damaged during the detainment. If he has neuropathy from his wrist being cut badly or tortured for long enough, then he may have a civil rights case. But being arrested and ticketed. So just so you guys know, the way that you are able to file a federal civil rights lawsuit is if you can prove that the cop knew he was violating your fundamental rights. And so in this case, using Terry versus Ohio, the cop is going to say that he had reasonable articulable suspicion. So that means that him being detained because the cop said he was suspicious of him, in the cop's training and programming, he's going to be able to have plausible deniability and claim qualified immunity if he did cause him physical damage. I don't know. It depends on who your judge and jury were and what he's going to sue for. Wrongful detainment, wrongful arrest, violation of my Fourth Amendment, wrongful seizure. I don't know if he has a civil rights case here. I really don't, because this is a Terry stop and then he was charged. So let's see what else he says here. But from my perspective, I don't think that he has a case. I don't know. I'd have to see it play out. But let's watch the rest of this and see what they say. Oh, and then while I'm here, thanks for the birthday wishes, guys. Thank you. I appreciate it. Thank you so much.
For sure.
Understood your rights very well in that situation. Do you feel like the officer violated your civil rights?
Definitely the first officer, Officer Rose, for sure. He absolutely had no reason to stop me. I was just walking. And he said he didn't even cite me for what he had detained me for, which he said prowling.
Now, we've encountered other people who've been harassed by the San Bernardino County law enforcement, like Daniel Alvarez. Have you personally had bad experiences before, or do you know of others who've been harassed?
Put a number 1 in the comments if you've been harassed by the police. Put a number 1 if you've been put in torture cuffs. Put a number 1 in the comments if you've been detained. It's going to be almost every single person here. Put a number 1 if you've been harassed and they've questioned you on a Terry stop. If they've detained you and told you you're not free to leave. If they've said to you, you know I can arrest you for that, don't you? How many people have heard, you know I can arrest you for that, don't you? Put a number 1 if you've heard that before.
Or falsely imprisoned?
I don't know anybody else who has similar stories to mine, but I mean, I feel like I've been taken advantage of plenty of times by police officers. At the same time, you know, that's when I was much younger. I didn't know much about what my rights actually were.
Now we know them.
Didn't know about the Fourth Amendment.
The Fourth Amendment.
You know, things of that nature.
So what are your next steps? Are you going to file a complaint against the officers?
I was told if you file a complaint, that they really don't do anything about it.
That's
anyway.
right.
So to me,
and you can read that in the Mullen Commission. It's available on DeletelawZ for free. Download and read the Mullen Commission. Nothing will happen from a complaint. He's exactly correct.
You know, it seems like hiring a lawyer to do all these things, it'd be too expensive for me, you know? So it's just kind of, I guess, take it on the chin. Yeah, I mean, like I said, I've watched a lot of videos from cop watchers and other types of videos on the same subject, and you always see them do their audits, but you never hear any type of feedback as far as, you know, legal ramifications for the police officer or things like that, unless it's like really serious.
Now, I want to drill down on this notion of police power and how it affects our communities.
I want to drill down on Terry versus Ohio. This whole thing you're looking at was a Terry stop. So, you know, she made this video in January. I hadn't come out. I hadn't taken this big stink stance on Terry, where if anybody doesn't talk about Terry, you know, I'll lose my mind on them or whatever. Like, you know, and I'll be honest, you know, there was a couple times where I talked to people about Terry versus Ohio, and I was pretty hardcore prick about it because, you know, it's taken me years and years to build up this knowledge to be able to articulate to others that it is Terry versus Ohio. So I know Real News Network used to be a subscriber to DeletelawZ. I don't know if they still are. I think they might be. Because she came through one time. I was so honored because I'd been watching her channel, you know. So to see Taya come through my channel and drop a couple comments, I was kind of like fanboyed for a minute because this was in like February or March or something. You know, I hadn't come on the scene. You know, I hadn't come on the scene and just made this overwhelming push that we have to focus on Terry versus Ohio. I think if I had come out, if this had been 6 months earlier and Tay had seen my videos like she has now, she would have identified this as a Terry stop. She's one of the best channels on YouTube. So, you know, what she does look what she did for the victim. Look what she did for the victim. That's leading. That's leadership right there. She's a reporter, but that doesn't mean she's not leading for change. She's walking you in so you can meet the victim face to face. So let's keep watching. So that was a Terry stop 100%.
Ways that I think often go unnoticed. Sometimes it's
like that, unless it's like really serious.
Now, I want to drill down on this notion of police power and how it affects our communities in ways that I think often go unnoticed. Sometimes it's obvious, like Aaron's case, where a cop simply uses the pretext of the law to enforce his own unlimited sense of power, despite the rights clearly enumerated in the Constitution.
Right, but her statement is 100% correct. Her statement right here, there is not a single word wrong what she says, but I want you to listen to the sentence and then let's examine the reality though. What she's saying is correct, but then let's examine the reality of her sentence.
Power and how it affects our community.
As far as, you know, legal ramifications.
I want to drill down on this notion of police power and how it affects our communities in ways that I think often go unnoticed. Sometimes it's obvious, like Aaron's case, where a cop simply uses the pretext of the law to enforce his own unlimited sense of power, despite the rights clearly enumerated in the Constitution. But
Okay, right there. So the cop has a full right. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm saying. When you endorse the term reasonable articulable suspicion and you say, what was your RAS? What's your reasonable articulable suspicion? What you're actually doing when you do that is you are endorsing the police state that we live in. You're endorsing the tyranny of Terry versus Ohio when you say, what's their RAS? What's their reasonable articulable suspicion? Why are you saying that? I'm a natural fighter, and a bit of a hard charger. So let me rephrase that to people and let me ask that question again. Let me do it from a teacher's perspective. If you were my little brother and I was talking to you, I would say, when you use the term, hey officer, what's your RAS? What's your reasonable articulable suspicion? What you're doing is you are endorsing a fake bullshit policy created by a bunch of racists on the Supreme Court. And I saw a comment earlier about Thurgood Marshall, which I have done a deep dive on his career. I've read numerous cases that he wrote holdings on. It was Thurgood Marshall's first year on the Supreme Court. He would do anything he was told to do by Earl Warren, as would Hugo Black. So, the only dissenter in Terry versus Ohio is his dissenting opinion is what's the guy's name again? He had some bad holdings as well. But I just want to talk about Thurgood for a moment because my brain isn't going to grab it just now. But Thurgood Marshall came onto the court. It was his first year on the Supreme Court. He was not what people would call an Uncle Tom. He was not that at all. He did stand up for what was right a lot. But a lot of times Thurgood Marshall had to vote along with what his white counterparts wanted because he was a guest on the Supreme Court. He was a guest. He was just a guest. He had to do what he was told. Or, remember, so just when you listen to the Terry v. Ohio oral arguments, the lawyer smacks down Thurgood Marshall. It wouldn't happen in today's court. You wouldn't smack down. The lawyer smacked down Thurgood Marshall pretty good. So in this, what you guys are listening here though is how we have to come together. When you talk, and this is the reason why I pulled off just for a moment, when you talk about reasonable articulable suspicion, you are endorsing a bullshit policy created in 1968. You have to ask, what's your probable cause? You guys have seen me walk behind cops at stops. I don't ask them what their RAS is. I ask them, what's your probable cause? You remember when I ran off those border agents who were harassing those kids, the young adults, they were about 20-year-old guys? What did I say to the border agents? I said, what's your probable cause to stop these young men? That's what I asked the border agents. I did not ask them what their RAS was. I wouldn't ever say that. I wouldn't ever endorse that. Well, listen, I'm going to do a long series on education. A long series this over this holiday break. A long series of education. So I've already got it planned out with a friend. But let's go back and listen to Tay some more because she's bringing the truth. She's bringing the light. We're just getting the exact verbiage of law down correct. She's bringing the heat and putting the heat on those bad cops, and at the same time, she's bringing the victim to light, which is just everything you could hope for from an activist.
Other times, the expansion of police power is more insidious, but no less dangerous. What do I mean? Well, consider this recent announcement by the FBI, no less, about the implementation of a law passed by Congress. It was a press release that received little attention, but is precisely the kind of rogue application of police powers that exemplifies the concerns I raised at the beginning of the show. So, as part of the now controversial 1994 Get Tough on Crime bill, legislators inserted a clause in the bill that is only now coming to our attention. The language required that the Department of Justice should track uses of excessive force by police and then issue a public report annually that would be available to everyone. But guess what? Turns out that the recent study by the GAO, or the Government Accountability Office, found that the DOJ has basically ignored that part of the law. Let me repeat. The freaking Justice Department, the Department of Justice, the primary pillar of America's so-called rule of law democracy, just decided to ignore the will of Congress. So how's that for your "no one is above the law" phrasing that political elites love to repeat like a mantra for their fair rule of law God who doesn't exist? But it gets worse.
Okay, so let's talk about that for just a minute. So when you come back here and you come to the 1994 crime bill, you know, a lot of the parts of the crime bill that you know, what did she just say? She just said that the GAO, that's called the Government Accounting Office, she just said that she can't get the police to submit a use of force write-up. They can't get the statistics for how much force the cops are using. But that's not the worst part about the 94 crime bill. The worst part about the 94 crime bill is the cops program. This with the Judge Advocate General Fund. This is the worst part. And what this stands for is community-oriented policing services. So what this does is this gives your local police chief the power to create a police state in your city, in your county, in your town. Here's how it works. So because there's community-oriented policing services, if the chief of your police department, whether it be Bratton or Michael Moore, if one of these guys says, you know what, we need more cops here in Anywhere Town, USA, then they simply implement the cops program, and this attaches to a fund over here called the Judge Advocate General Fund. Right here, it's just imaginary, you can't see it, but there it is right there. And so this guy down here, the head of LAPD, he contacts, using the cops program, the Judge Advocate General Fund, and says, listen, the town didn't put in the budget for 6 more cops, but I need 6 more cops right now this year. So then the cops program over here, it's gonna fund those 6 more cops. For Michael Moore, he skipped all the administrative processes of city council. He skipped all those processes by going to the Bill Clinton signed 1994 crime bill. And then he gets cops assigned to his police station. He gets those 6 more cops from the cops program. And then when the cops come into his new police station, into the new position that they have, that covers their insurance and their rent and everything else. And then after a couple years, the cops program, they cut off the funding for the 6 new cops that Michael Moore brought in. And then what happens next is that those bills then fall upon your city, upon your city council. They then have to pay for those cops because you can't fire cops. How are you gonna fire cops? The 94 crime bill creates Operation Relentless Pursuit. And what this is right here, this is where you take all the alphabet letters, the CIA, the FBI, ICE, you name it, any 3-letter secret agency that we don't know anything about, and it combines them all together in a national coalition to then go get the bad guy. And who's the bad guy? It's you. You're the bad guy. You're the bad guy. They want to get you. So the 94 crime bill, this is one of the worst pieces of legislation that ever. And if you want to really take a look at it, when Joe Biden wrote that crime bill, and you come right down here to where Clinton was president, that's where you get this right here. Look at that. See that spike in the prison industry? That's from Joe Biden's 1994 crime bill right there. See that spike right there? There's Clinton and Biden right there. The effects of the 94 crime bill coming to life. Isn't it great? Isn't that great? Look at that. And now you have 2.5 million people living in dungeons. What's going on, Tim? How you doing, buddy? Good to see you. So now, how do we get rid of this horrendous prison graph right here? Well, the first thing we do is we start to identify what the problem is, and it's Terry versus Ohio. So we first have to get there. We got to get there first, and then we can start to make some real change.
Above the law phrasing that political elites love to repeat like a mantra for their fair rule of law God who doesn't exist. But it gets worse.
Yep.
After outcry from activists and active investigative reporting on the disproportionately high number of police killings in the US, the FBI actually decided to ask police agencies across the country to voluntarily turn over the number and nature of police killings involving their officers. You heard me correctly. Even though there is a law already on the books, passed by Congress, which required at least some information about police abuse to be turned over by these agencies, the other pillar of American law enforcement, the FBI, simply sought volunteers. And guess how that worked out? Well, recently,
Zero.
The Washington Post reported that because so many agencies have decided to not comply with the request, the entire program may be shut down. I'm not kidding. So many police departments have just decided to say, no thanks, that the federal government has started to wind down the entire idea. Never mind that, as we said before, American police kill almost 1,000 people every year. Never mind, as we've seen on this show, police have no problem overreaching as they continually abuse the laws that they are supposed to enforce. What this really boils down to is a complete and highly illuminating reflection of what political elites mean when they say we're a nation of laws or that no one is above them. It's a phrase we hear often to justify destructive policies like the war on drugs or mass incarceration. But it's also an idea that implies the law must be applied rigorously with a major caveat, except for those aforementioned elites.
That's right.
If you don't believe me, consider the otherwise sacred laws that compel us all to pay taxes. It's actually a legal requirement that is considered so unbreachable that the old joke goes, and I'm paraphrasing here, that there are only two certainties in life: death and taxes. But in fact, a small group of people have managed to avoid this apparently unwavering legal destiny. According to this report by the US Treasury, the country's wealthiest citizens avoid roughly $163 billion in taxes every single year. That's billion with a B. How do they do it? By paying high-powered lawyers to bend the law to their advantage.
Yes.
But that's not the only bit of irony that emerges from the enforcement of the tax code in our nation governed by the so-called rule of law. Turns out that despite the fact that the rich are ripping off the US Treasury for billions every year, enforcement disproportionately falls on the poorest. According to this 2019 report by the journalism website ProPublica, a person who makes less than $20,000 per year is just as likely to be audited by the IRS as someone who earns over $1 million per year. In other words, the IRS aims
So listen, you know, a lot of people have contacted me about a lot of issues, you know, and I do love that people contact me about, you know, their cases and the things that they're going through and how they're being cheated and railroaded. And, you know, there's a lot of people, I wish I had enough time in my life where I could help everybody, but I don't. And so I have a limited time of a scope where I can help people. Let me grab my water real quick. So I have a small scope where I can help people. I can't help every single person who contacts me. I do look at your case. I do look at what you send me, and there's a few times I've seen some things that I just have broke my heart that I can't help everybody, you know, and I can't even give legal advice. I especially can't give you legal advice through an email, you know, because I can't, you know, I'm targeted, obviously. So there's a lot of people that I get their stuff from, but it's the overall that we're gonna have to get to, and I'll eventually have to go into government, and that's gonna be what I'll do. Make sure you guys go over and subscribe to Real News Network. Let her know DeletelawZ sent you. They have hundreds of thousands of subscribers, so they won't even notice us. But you know, we got to get the words right. You know, the people who watch this channel, you know, God bless you guys for so many of my friends are on here now. I've been doing this for on YouTube now since January approximately. And, you know, I'm just so grateful that I've been able to make friends online, which is really cool. My face hurts from all the sugar I've eaten over the past 24 hours. I got to stop. My face hurts and my skin hurts. My whole body hurts from all the sugar I ate, but I wanted to put myself in a sugar coma last night, so I did. My face definitely is hurting for sure. So I'm just, yeah, thank you. I appreciate it. Good to see you, Jay Bird. I'll just say hello to a few people for a few minutes here. And then I've got to get this guy's video from Massachusetts. That's not really the subject matter, people news. You know what I'm saying? I want to try to stay on the subject matter that we talk about, you know, on this channel, because, you know, I want to give you guys, because, you know, the other day someone said, I said something about people were cowards or whatever. You know, I'm not calling anybody a coward. I'm not calling you a coward. What I'm saying is I want you guys to start to point out Terry stops. When the cops don't have any probable cause, you know, if someone steals a pizza and runs out the door, that would be probable cause. But thank you, Kinetic Customs. I appreciate that. Troll Hunter, how are you? Troll Hunter, how you doing, man? So you know, I want to do the best that I can, because there's going to be, you guys, as we go down the road here, there's going to be things that are going to be distractions. I want to try to keep it, I want to try to keep our focus on what we need to stay focused on, you know, and those things are starting to come together. I have a website that's I would say 80% done. I have to just send off some words to a friend to get the website done, and I haven't gotten it done yet because I want to do some other things with the website plus some other stuff, and I just want to keep it kind of to myself until it's ready to go. But we have to stay as focused as we can. There are things that have to change. You know, we have to get rid of the torture cuffs. We have to get rid of detainment, or at least move to a digital detainment till we can get rid of Terry versus Ohio. And we have to get cameras in the courtroom. We've got to get transparency. We have to get rid of the term law enforcers and get back to peace officers. We need camera and audio in every court so that they can stop cheating us, so the prison industry doesn't look how it does. You know, we have to stay super, thank you, Dave. I appreciate the birthday wishes. God bless you guys. Thank you so much. I did put an Amazon wish list on my website. You guys can check out the Amazon wish list. I think I put it in the I am old now, bro. What's up, Terry versus Overturned Terry versus Ohio? You can see it. I ate so many cookies last night and smoked so much weed. I'm telling you guys, I have been stoned. I mean, stoned to the bone, and I've enjoyed it. I've enjoyed it because I have been a workaholic for months and months and months. And on your birthday, what you do is you turn and you take a look at what you have achieved this year. And so that's what I originally started this video talking about. We've achieved that we always called them torture cuffs. Always. Every activist, every auditor, if you want to be a part of the change, and you are the change, every reporter, every activist, every auditor, always call them torture cuffs. Always call it a rape cage. It is a rape cage. Guys are getting raped in there. Women are getting raped in there. You know, let's the things we've accomplished this year, let's compound on them. When you guys see someone put in cuffs, say that's torture. Those are torture cuffs. Always start to change the verbiage of what we're seeing. Everybody hit the like button, hit the number 1 button. Just do a roll call. Who's in here? Hit the number 1. Let me see where you guys are from. Just really super fast. Oh man. Oh, I'm so bloated. Eating the cookies was fun, but oosh, I'm hurting. I am hurting. My face hurts from so much sugar. But I'm here in Denver, and I don't have any of my friends or family around me, just me and Charlie Bear. So I just decided to get actually, that's not true. I went and hung out with a friend last night. I have a very good friend here in Denver. Oh, what's going on, V Boyer? Good to see you. McAllister's in the hizzy. What's going on, Adam? Good to see you. Good to see you, V Boyer. This was a long one. This is an hour and 20 minutes so far. What's going on? Forbidden Palace. I know where that is, my friend. Shock Professor, Indiana. Good to see you, Lonnie. How are you? You have rights. Cops have duties. Jeff hates pigs. Jeff hates pigs. Jeff hates pigs. Jeff hates pigs. Jenny, how are you? Gloria, Robert, good to see you. Thank you, Robert, for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. I do appreciate it. That's right. That's right. I can hear you. I can hear you. I can hear everything. What's up, Torchbearer? I don't know where you are, Torchbearer, but I'm not going anywhere. I'm not driving anywhere. I'm going to try to just chill. I'm gonna try to just chill. It's a little tough because I'm not sure if you guys know this or not, but my home address was doxxed. My address here in Denver. So it was leaked on the internet. And so because of that, because my address was leaked on the internet, I just have to, my dog is a human. My dog is a human. My dog's a human, definitely stoned. But my dog is a great alert. If he hears a tick or a bark or a tick, but I like to sleep with my headphones on, but now I just can't. I have to make sure, so I just run a fan. So my dog is a human. My dog is a human. Happy birthday from New York City. Good to see it. Yeah, I want you guys to start to, when you see videos across the internet that starts off with, hey, let me see your ID, that's a Terry stop. That's a Terry stop. I just have to make sure I keep my firearms ready to go and I keep myself, ready to go. But where's Charlie? Come here, Charlie. Come here, little boy. People want to say hello. Do you want to say hello? Do you want to say hello? Do you want to say hello, little bear? Do you want to say hello? Do you want to say hello? There they are, Charlie. There they are, Charlie, little bear. There's a little bear. There's a little bear. There's a little bear. Look at him. Arr, arr, arr. Can we show him your growl? Arr. Let me see. Let me see your little. So yeah, he does this thing where he probably once a day or once every other day. I would say probably once a day. He does this thing where he will he wants to have a real kind of like macho interaction, but he just wants to stand his ground and growl at me, and I can be petting him and he'll be going grrr the whole time. Let me see if I can get him to do it. Up here, Charlie, come up here. Let me see. Let me see if I can get you to do it. This is really great. I mean, it's my birthday, so I'm kind of just wasting a little time, whatever. But this is really cute. Let me see what you got. Come here. Come here. Come here. Come over here. Where do you go? Let me see. He'll do it. I know this little guy. I know this little guy so well. He'll do it. He'll do it. He'll do it for sure. He will. Right, Charlie, little bit. Right, Charlie, little. Right, Charlie, little. Oh. Ah. That's a good boy. Where's your belly? Where's your? That's a good boy. 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 Charlie, here's a tick. What is it? That's a good boy. Sorry. Good boy, Charlie. Where's your belly? Where's your belly? There's a good boy. There's a good boy, Charlie. Good boy. There he is. There's a good boy. So, anyway. That's he loves it. He absolutely loves it. It's his, and then when he's doing that, when he's biting when he's like rah, 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 like biting on my hand, he's actually, I can feel his teeth like hitting my hand, I mean, look, there's absolutely nothing. He doesn't actually bite. He bites as he's like hitting the side of his head into it. So if you're a little kid though, and he's playing like that, it scares the Jesus out of you. But because he likes to play rough. He likes to I like pull on his paws. He likes to snap at my fingers, and he's got me a couple times, but it's a 15, 20 pound dog. I'm definitely stoned. You can see it. Maybe one more bong rip. I mean, I know. So just so you guys know, I got a couple of videos that I finished over the last couple of days that I put on the list, but they're unlisted because all of my videos this video immediately will be demonetized. It'll be demonetized. And this video, when it comes out, will immediately be demonetized. All of my videos are now demonetized. So now a buddy of mine told me, ASD Docs, he said, put it unlisted, and after it clears the review, then you can put it up, and it'll get monetized. So what am I gonna do? Bong rips around. Who's smoking some weed with me today? It's my birthday. What's up? Smoke some weed with me on my birthday. I should have put on that Amazon wish list my favorite weed store, which right now would be Star Buds. This would be my favorite weed store right now in Colorado. Star Buds. Oh, is that right? Oh no, I mean my eyes are pretty. But it's my birthday. I'm literally hanging out with my friends that I've made this year, which is Michael. What's going on, buddy? Good to see you, man. Good to see you. Guinness Extra Stout, huh? You're a Guinness guy? Yeah. Yeah, I would love to smoke, Dan, I know it. Dan, we barely missed smoking together when I was in Ohio when I met Dan Fizzle in person. This is the kind I'm smoking right here. This is called I'm sorry guys, I'm so freaking blind, you know that. And plus I'm stoned, so maybe you guys can see it better than me. Can you see that? Is that in focus? It's so tiny. I can't see it. I can't see that. I'm sorry. And I'm stoned. But Banana Punch. That's what it's called. Yep. Banana Punch. It was the most economical ounce there, and it was 27% THC. So I was like, you know what? I'm not driving anywhere. I'm gonna be sitting, just talking on my YouTube to my friends across the country here and across the world. And I'm just gonna enjoy the Banana Punch. And then tomorrow I've got to do a bunch of stuff. Tomorrow my day is packed. I have so many things I have to do tomorrow. I got to get the final police report tomorrow from the Denver Police Department. Apparently it's already been leaked. My address is on it apparently. And so I got to get that, and I got to get that to my insurance company so they'll give me a payoff amount. And then I have to get and then my insurance company is going to want to pay me one amount, so I have to look up all the cars for sale in my area. Hits from the bong. What's up, Playboy? Oh yeah. And then last night my friend T sent me a Cash App. Thanks, T. I got your Cash App last night. And so I got myself this nice little yellow bong. Hey T, your Cash App money that you sent me last night, brother, this is what I bought with your Cash App money. So I want to say thank you. And T knows who he is. I'm not gonna announce anybody's names. So there it is, man. This is what you got me when you sent me that cash last night, bro. Thanks. This was my birthday present to myself today. And then I got and then I was, stoned to the bone when I went to the grocery store last night. It was like 11 o'clock. So nice, bro. Fat Dabs over there from Overturned Terry versus Ohio. And so then, of course, when I was in the store, I got my Nutella, and then I got my Oreos cookies, and then oh man, by the way, if you do graham crackers with Nutella and milk, Oh, and then I also did, I mean, you guys know, I mean, and then I also did the flips stuffed right there. That's what's up, Playboy. That's what's up. Bam. And then the stuff here in Colorado for weed stuff, everything is about, I mean, in LA, I mean, I would say it's 30 or 40% cheaper than Los Angeles. So I got this really, I got this grinder for $20 and it's pretty good. It's not a, if you want the best grinder, it's called a Santa Fe shredder. A Santa Cruz shredder. Is Santa Fe or Santa Cruz? Does anybody know what it is? So this is a real cheap one made in China. It says right there on the bottom of it, made in China. This is not a Santa Cruz. Is it Santa Cruz or Santa Fe? Terry, how you doing, man? Good to see you. It's a Santa. Yeah, no, listen, I'm John. I'm just doing it now, dude. I'm enjoying this because I've been eating bad for 2 weeks with Zayner. And now after my birthday, I don't want to be fat for Christmas, so I'm gonna get myself dialed in. But is it a Santa Fe or Santa Cruz shredder? My OCD has for some reason just taken over because I want to use an Amazon grinder. But just so you know, I can't remember if it's Santa Fe or Santa Cruz, but they have a particular patent on their grinder so that it cuts the weed just a certain way. The way the teeth are formed in the Santa Cruz shredder, I think it's a Santa Cruz shredder. Yeah, it is. I think it is a Santa Cruz shredder. Oh, you do, LP? You have one? Oh, they're so good. I had one and I left it at my buddy's house in LA and it got tossed because he's not a weed smoker. Oh, but see, this does a nice grind. Look at that grind. That's not a bad grind. Pretty nice. Pretty nice. Look at that. Just looks delicious, doesn't it? So good. So good. Probably has a lead lining in it. That's probably bad, right? Having a lead lining? I don't know. So let me just tap this bad chicken. A little tappy. Let me tap this thing out. A little oh! What's up, Playboy? Yeah, I was gonna, you know, I'm like such a workaholic that you know, Zayner will tell you, there's just very few minutes that I will just waste. I just can't really. So, you know, on days like on my birthday and stuff, it's nice just to hang out and just kind of waste a few minutes together. Because I mean, you guys, if you're hanging with me right now, I'm literally just sitting here talking shit, doing nothing, smoking weed, and maybe I'll eat some chocolate in a second, but I'm not doing shit. I already gave the information I want to give. I want you guys to point out Terry stops. When you see a video and it's obviously a Terry stop, I want you guys to point it out. That's why I did this live, because I saw my favorite channel, Love that. Man, did you see her bring the victim on there? Did you get to meet him? Right? That's, you know, it's like, it reminds me, you know, my boy Isaiah over there in NorCal, I hope his lawsuit's going well. Isaiah, oh, Murad, thanks, man. Hey, dude, thank you for the birthday super chat. Appreciate it, man. Thanks. I'm smoking a bowl, Murad, so I hope you're not against smoking weed, but I already gave the lecture. I gave the lecture for the first hour I was on, and now I'm just smoking some very good banana marijuana that I got here in Denver, Colorado. So we got the new, so I got banana weed, and then I got a yellow bong. So we have a banana yellow bong with banana weed. So I think this is going to be a banana birthday blast. Don't stop, Chille. I won't, Jeff. I give you my word. I won't stop. I will not stop. I guarantee you that. I'm going to change this country. You have, on my 48th birthday, you have my solemn swear. I will never, ever stop. And I'll get kicked back, and then I'll go forward, and then I'll get kicked back, and then I'll go forward, and I'll get kicked back, and then I'll go forward, and I will never stop. Ever. Ever. If you want to stop me, you're going to have to fucking kill me. You know, that, you know, if anybody can send me that audio, I would love to hear. You guys know what I'm talking about? That audio. It's like alliteration. Okay. Okay, banana bong. Woo 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 woo. It's so funny, you know. I'm a Gen Xer, so I remember the time when it used to be. And how many of you guys remember this? Put a 1 if you guys remember this. Do you guys remember when it used to be that if you went outside to smoke weed, you'd be at a party and everybody would be like, you know, shooting shots, drinking beer, snorting coke, you know, and then you'd be like, hey, I'm gonna go smoke some weed, so you gotta go in the back because the smell of weed can't be in the house. And then there'd be like a group of people who were all drunk and high, and they'd go, oh, you're going to smoke weed, huh? Oh man, they're gonna go smoke weed. Does anybody remember that? Does anybody remember that? Zayner's coughing. Overturned Terry versus Ohio. Of course you are. Look how stoned I am. What's up, Playboy? Do you guys remember that though? I would go to smoke a bowl, you know, and these guys, you know, and I moved to LA just so you know, and I did drugs. I tried drugs when I, you know, got there, and I had party days. I'm a regular guy who went to Hollywood. I did the party things. It was fun, right? But I never lost myself on drugs. I just never did, you know. I saw people who did, but I just never did, you know. I had a good time and pop right back out. I didn't have that addiction to any of those drugs, and I didn't love the hard drugs enough to be addicted to them. So with that being said, you know, I was always a weed smoker. So after I did my whatever I did, then I would go out to parties and people would be doing drugs and doing hard drugs. And I would go and go in the back and they'd be like, oh, you can smoke weed, huh? I just cannot believe. Matter of fact, Jeff fucking Lloyd. One time, Jeff Lloyd. I'm so sorry, I'm so stoned. One time, Jeff Lloyd, we were down at his house in Mexico, and Jeff does not like the smell of marijuana. And Jeff is doing, he's doing shots and rails of Coke. Shot, rail of Coke. Shot, rail of Coke. And I hardly ever drink. And if I'm gonna drink, I'll just get hammered, but I hardly ever drink. And I'm not doing rails, you know. And so I said to Jeff, I'm gonna step out. And he goes, what you doing? And I said, I'm going to smoke some weed. And as this guy is drunk and high, he goes, you're going to smoke weed? And I said, are you drunk and high right now? And he goes, oh yeah. But that's how hard of a bias people have on marijuana. And then earlier, I made a comment on a Scalia video. Someone on Twitter, I think I retweeted something about Scalia. There was I have a Twitter account called DeletelawZ. Are you guys on Twitter? Follow me on Twitter and I can follow you guys back. But I have a Twitter account that I get updates on because I follow like the Law Boy and I follow the 5-4 podcast and I follow a bunch of different, I follow the Scoutist blog. I follow a bunch of different Twitter accounts that are highly educational and current. They give you, you know, real up-to-date Supreme Court cases that are coming out now, and they give you a synopsis on them. So you know, I'm extraordinarily busy, so I read the synopsis of the case and then I get into the case. Just hate the smell of marijuana. Wow, that's crazy. How many people like the smell of marijuana? Put number 1 if you love the smell of marijuana. Put a number 2 if you hate the smell of marijuana. 1 if you love it, 2 if you hate it. Put a 1 if you love the 2 if you hate it. 3 if you're indifferent. 1 if you love it, 2 if you hate it. If you love the smell, put a 1. I just want to see. Natasha loves it. Natasha loves it. Dolan loves it. I love the smell of it. I love the smell of weed. Fizzle, I can't read that, Fizzle. They're going too fast. Dan, I can't read it. 1 or 2, I can't read it because it's going 2. 3, Jeff Chase Pigs is indifferent. Most people love the smell. I love the smell of weed, man. I smell it and I'm like, that smells delicious. I've always thought that. It's always this, oh, what? Overturn Terry versus Ohio? You don't love the smell of weed? You're the biggest stoner I know, bro. He's the biggest stoner I know. There's no bigger stoner than Overturn Terry versus Ohio. He's the biggest stoner I know. I don't know any bigger. Overturn Terry versus Ohio, shut up. You are the biggest stoner I know. You cannot hate the smell of marijuana. You smoke more, I mean, the only person who smoked more weed than me is that guy. I'm definitely stoned. Sorry, guys. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I mean, I think weed is actually God's gift. I think it's the miracle drug that we don't know enough about. I think marijuana has internal healing powers that we haven't even tapped into yet because we put it on the taboo list for so long and there was no real study into what it could actually do. So I think that marijuana is, I think it's the cure for cancer. I think we have to just dig into marijuana more. You know, if we could, you know, I'm not a scientist, obviously, so I don't want to sound stupid, but, but, you know, if we could, you know, let's just go into the divergent thinking here, thinking outside of the box when things that may not make sense. You know, the example of divergent thinking is, you know, how many things can I do with this paper clip? Well, what if the paper clip was made of a different substance and was, you know, 30 feet tall? So that's divergent thinking. So with divergent thinking, what if we could take little of the molecules of THC and inject it into the cancer and see if it kills it? Like, you know what I mean? Like, I'm not a scientist, so I'm a great big dunce cap in this area. So, you know, makes you hungry? Will make you hungry? This is when I break my fast tonight. Oh, because I'm gonna fast today. I'm just gonna do coffee. I'm gonna do, these are some of my favorites. These are some of my favorites. This is my birthday. Bada boom tonight. This is my birthday Nutella tonight. What's up, Playboy? This is the way to dance with the devil at night. Okay, you want to have a good time? You start here. Smother that bad chicken on some graham crackers. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay. Sorry, I'm big time stoned. So much fun. So it's like, I reflect back to where we've come from, because it's, you know, my birthday, and I look back, we've come so far. Remember, you know, we're going to crack 50,000 subscribers here in the next couple weeks, and that's on YouTube. And, you know, we did it completely raw dog, organically. Guys like Brian at Here's the Deal and DPN, those guys really helped. They really came in and helped. But we've made it pretty far in just 6 months, 7. Well, I guess we're 9 months if it's September, right? So we made it pretty far in 9 months. We would have made it further, but of course, there's going to be adversity in everything. There's always going to be some kind of adversity in accomplishing anything great. If you want to accomplish anything amazing, guess what? You're going to make enemies along the way if you take a stand on anything. You stand for something, there's someone standing against you. And it's not going to be easy. It's never going to be simple or easy. You're never going to be able to simply just do something you want to do. Thank you, Chris. I appreciate it, man. God bless. I appreciate it. So, you know, it's always going to be hard to change things. And there's going to be people who, even though they see good ideas for change, they're going to be resistant to change because change is always scary, which is why I'm going to do the things I'm going to do. So anyway, listen. All right, man. I taught my lesson. I hung out. We took some bong rips. Bong rips. What's up, bong rips, Playboy? I think I've heard that DPN is going through some stuff. I don't know what that is. I couldn't comment and comment fairly because I don't know what DPN's going through. But you know, I really like DPN. I really care about DPN. So, you know, I would love to. I think he's really sick from his diabetes, and I think he's battling it. He's not well. So, where's Waldo? Where's Waldo? What's up, Will? How you doing, man? Will Bell, huh? He just got out of the hospital. If anybody has any information on him, feel free to email me that. Don't hit that bong. Yo, I'm so stoned. You can see it in my eyes. My eyes are just slits. I guess it's pretty easy to tell when I'm stoned, huh? So easy to tell. Well, I mean, since I've been doxxed, right? Since they put my address on the internet, look at my view right here. There's the stadium right there. That's the stadium for where the Broncos play, right there. Dude. What's up, Stone Playboy? So this is a pretty cool little hood. And this place right here, this is a really cool like little day room right here. I was gonna put a bed in here, but I was like, you know what? I'm gonna wake up when I wake up, you know? I'm just gonna wake up when I wake up. I'm not gonna worry about it, you know? The person over there on that channel, that chick, she doxed me. She put my home address out, so, you know, there's more to that. I'm just not gonna get into it here on this channel. There's more to that, you know, but it's pretty pathetic overall, you know, and I just try to, no, not at all. But I'm not sure how you guys sleep at night, but I absolutely need some brown noise. I need, like, see that right there? If I was asleep out here, I would sleep like a baby. What is that? Oh yeah? Is that right? Oh yeah, Dan, of course I do. I got my firearm right here. I have to keep it on me. You know, I have to keep it on me 100% of the time. Yeah, I don't sleep with the TV playing because it makes it so that, oh, that's another topic, Chris. 9/11 is another topic. I just make sure I keep my firearm within reach. David Turner has a fan, is that right, man? What's going on, Playboy? What's going on? What's going on, man? Oh, you do, Jenny? That's so cool. Jenny's been around for a long time. I mean, Jenny cares. Can I talk about you, Jenny? Is that okay? Can I say something about you out loud? Am I allowed to? I just want to make sure. I don't want to make anybody feel uncomfortable. Because there's people who come into the chat that come in all the time, and every time I want to talk about someone publicly, I want to make sure that it's okay if I say something about them publicly. You know, Jenny's one of those people who's so passionate for justice that, you know, she'll write me emails that like, your government is allowing this to happen, you know, and she's going on these emails, which is, you know, God bless you and how deeply she cares about justice. You know, she can sometimes get overwhelmed with her thirst to see justice happen. And so it's like, you know, I appreciate that. And at the same time, there's this fine line between, you know, people, it's like, just so you guys know, what makes someone rational is how much education they have. The more education you have, the more rational you can act, which is why it's really hard when you see people who are professors and PhDs and these things who act completely irrational. Their emotional state is completely void from their logical state. And so you see people like that who can get triggered, that are, you know, highly educated, and you say, what does that come from? I think that comes from tribalism. I don't think that because the more educated you are, you know, John Locke in Essays in Understanding Humanity, 1689, in his book, he's going to write in that book that he's going to write quite a bit about it, but the most profound line that he writes is that, show me the character of a man and I'll show you how much education he has. And it's kind of crazy the way those books came out, because he'd already written 2 treaties of government he's going to publish in 1690, but he realized that we're so far behind him thinking that he has to write another book called Essays in Understanding Humanity, so that we can catch up to his educational level, to his base level of knowledge in Essays in Understanding Humanity, so then you can then understand 2 treaties of government. So, you know, it's like, they're so much smarter than these Enlightenment thinkers. Were so much smarter than we are. They're just so much more intelligent. And they had been shook, all of them, by war and trauma. They had all been, at one point and another in life. I mean, Jean-Jacques Rousseau was a bit of he lived a life like I do, I guess. Jean-Jacques Rousseau was one of those guys who went around the world, and he would have to often leave the area he was quickly because his ideas were so progressive and so inclusive that it scared a lot of people. And he would cause enemies of people because they couldn't keep up with the logic of his thinking. He was on such another level of understanding humanity and understanding the connectivity, the interconnectivity between people, that when Jean-Jacques Rousseau wrote The Social Contract, he said that in another time, we wouldn't have to adhere to the rule of law. We wouldn't have to have a social contract. He said, but because society is now so interwoven, you're not just relying on trading a fur for this milk. That's not how it's going anymore. Now, we're so interconnected that we have to have a social contract, that we all agree to the same set of laws, because the way he pictured it is one hand on top of another hand on top of another hand on top of another hand. And so that's how interconnected we are today. And that's why the rule of law is so fundamental to a society that could work. And we're not living under rule of law. When you talk about the social contract, people will often say things like, I didn't sign up for the social contract. I didn't sign up for this. Listen, there's a lot of things in life you didn't sign up for that are a reality of life. If you walk in the road, you'll get hit by a car. It's just when. There's things about life that are realities that you have to cope with, because that's the reality of life. I don't want torture cuffs anymore. We have to change that reality of life. So you're born into a society under a rule of law so that we can all interact. But this is not rule of law. So I don't want to say that America is living under rule of law. I mean, Jenny, who I talked about a moment ago, she understands that we're not living under rule of law, and it makes her mad. It makes her angry, which is fair. And then you have cops, rights have duties, just wrote something. The age of enlightenment bores ignorant minds. And that's why I'm proud of most of you here that can comprehend the importance of the age of the enlightenment. So, this social experiment, love you, Natasha. Thank you for coming. Thank you for the birthday wishes. I appreciate it. Thank you. So this experiment here that we're living under, the United States government, it's 100% the social experiment created by the Enlightenment thinkers, John Locke, Jean-Jacques Rousseau, and Montesquieu. We don't have the social experiment that we're living today without those three Enlightenment thinkers. And so that's why I'm doing an entire series when I leave Denver over the history of America, an entire series that I'm going to break down into sections and patterns and show it to you guys on a timeline in a completely new way. Because now, after doing this on my birthday, as your birthday comes up, as at least mine does every year, I start to assess what I've done, what I've accomplished, and what I'm doing next. And so when I was assessing that what we were talking about a second ago, about the three, thank you, Kevin, about the three thank you, I appreciate it. Happy birthday. God bless you. Thank you. Thank you. About the three Enlightenment thinkers, I need to teach that in a more profound, specific way, where I actually teach a lesson that you have to learn it, and there's a quiz at the end of it. And so that's what I've figured out how to do. And I don't care about a curriculum as far as what is going on. How you guys doing? Stop and frisk 100% is because of Terry versus Ohio. I've just been on here just rambling here for like an hour now, just blah, 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 whatever's in my brain of things I think about that have happened this past year, I'm just kind of spitting out of my head. P-Rex, thank you. God bless you, dude. Thank you. Lumps of shits. Gracias. A lot of people simply just don't understand that the Enlightenment thinkers and the social contract specifically, like I was talking about, how we're so interwoven that if we don't live under a rule of law, that it will turn to absolute tyranny. I mean, look at what's happening on YouTube. Look at what's happening on social media. Because there's no rule of law on these social platforms, it's the wild, wild west. People can do whatever they want on these social platforms because there's no rules to it. There's no law to it. And those who have claimed to be in charge of the law on YouTube and social media aren't enforcing their own rules. So this is where we are. Yeah, hey, Virginia, you know, it's funny. Virginia Carzardes just said, the two most important days in your life are the day that you're born and the day that you find out why you were born. And that is so true. Listen, I was born for this. NY Care, good to see you. I was born to do this, and I won't stop until we get to change. And by the way, you guys, I have figured out a way to grow this movement by doubling and tripling the numbers by the end of this year. Thank you, Natural Order. I appreciate it. Thanks for the super chat. Listen, I have figured out a way to double or triple our numbers here. I figured out a way to triple our number, at least double our numbers, maybe triple our numbers before New Year's. Put that in your pipe and smoke it. No, we have 212 likes. I think you're just a little bit behind, Gloria. You're probably behind the Chuck P. So, and Chuck P, Hey James, how you doing? Good to see you. Good to see you. Rumble Humble, Troll Hunter, good to see you guys, man. V Boyer, love you guys, man. Thank you. You know, and by the way, you know, on my birthday, this is a chance also for me to say thank you to all of my supporters, because as you guys have seen, because of the defamation I've received from different people, some of my supporters have come in and really made my life and my existence so that I don't have to stop what I'm doing. And thank you to those supporters. I appreciate you guys. To all of you supporters who have supported me this year on this journey, from the bottom of my heart, thank you. It has been one hell of a journey. And this will go in my book. This will go in my book, you know. Gloria, thank you. Sad, good to see you. Thank you all who have supported me. Every single one of you guys who've ever supported me in any way by buying any of my products or donating to me, thank you. It has, you have no idea. And you know, what I've done is I've done everything I can to help as many people as I possibly can. I tried to avoid this mud fight that I'm in. I'm sorry that we got caught up in it. It'll be a slight entanglement, because you guys, I'm telling you right here and now, that one of these channels will go dark. Possibly two channels will go dark, probably before the end of September. I'm relentless, and so we're taking a lot of steps to make sure that we end the defamation. So, you know, you guys are going to find out that I have some legal knowledge and some legal things that I'm doing that I think will lead to a conclusion, at least with one of these people. So I'm looking forward to that. I really am. And using the legal remedies, you know. So we have to make sure that we just stay strong. Listen, and on this channel, you know, the people who have moderated for me this year, thank you so much. I'm so grateful. The moderators have made it so I can have a channel. Greg, Kinetic, Ethel Bliss. Sorry, I didn't see that. I'm just looking. I'm not sure. I'm not sure what that meant, but it's okay. No big deal. So, I think Etheric Bliss used to be a moderator. But anyway, you know, to all the people who, for all the people who moderated for me this year, I'm so super grateful. Let's make sure, you know, as I go into my 39th year, that we try to always make sure the channel, that we just stay on our topic. You know, don't let them take us off topic. Don't let the focus be on the people in the chat who are trying to distract the chat from what I'm talking about. Because listen, I figured out a way. I'm being God's honest truth here. I think I can double or triple our following by the end of this year with what I'm doing. And this involves somebody else who's been a longtime supporter. And I think that we figured out a way that I can double or triple this movement by New Year's. So that's super duper exciting. That's why I'm just biding my time here in Denver. I've got to get a video done for the guy in Massachusetts, but staying on track here. Thank you to the moderators who've helped me this year. Super grateful. Thank you. I'm super grateful. I appreciate you guys. Oh, oof. JMM. I become friends with so many of you guys. I don't want to list off your names because I don't want to cause you guys any problems, but I'm super grateful for your friendships. The people who have become my friends, the people who I talk to on the phone, who I text with, who send me text messages. There's people who send me text messages that I don't reply to, but I read your text. I read the whole thing you write, and then I let that digest, and then I'll get another text message and I'll read that one, and I'll let that digest, and then I'll read another, and you're giving me good information. You're giving me good stuff. So I'm still absorbing what you're sending me. You're sending me videos that are of Terry stops. I'm loving those videos. Obviously I just had to do some focusing here on some stuff, but the videos you're sending me, I love watching. I love your emails when you tell me my son is being cheated. Can you do anything? And I'm in Alabama and I really can't do anything, but I do want to hear about it and I want to see it so that I can always keep abreast of how much corruption and cheating is going on in the criminal and justice system. So, it's been a hell of a ride this year. I saw it. Even though Direct D talks all kinds of mad shit about me and is intimidated by me, all those things, I still watch his videos because I think he is fighting for freedom. I just, for some reason, he has to be the biggest dog. You got a bigger channel than me, Direct D. I don't think at the end of the day you'll do what I do ultimately in life, but I am very proud of the efforts Direct D is doing. So, and by the way, no matter what I accomplish, it's not a competition against Direct D. It's a competition against myself. For me to be able to do what I do. I told you I could double the following we have, 50,000. I can get us to 100,000 by the end of the year. Now I'm going to show you that I can do it. So we can get to more than that. We don't stop. We'll go further together. That's why I always that's why I always crowdsource. If you guys ever see me go on other channels, I'm always trying to crowdsource people, because if you crowdsource people, then we can, like Direct D, for example, let's keep talking about him. Even though he and I are oil and water, I can't respect someone who talks shit about me. He should be crowdfunded. People should continue to fund him. He should continue to be funded by people because he's a freedom fighter. 100%. 100%. If people like Direct D, they should be sending him $5 or $10 or $2 or $1 or $100, whatever they can send. They should be supporting Direct D in what he's doing. He's a freedom fighter. I don't like him. He talks bad about me. That's not relevant. That's not relevant. We are in a war for our freedom. He's a freedom fighter. He's a freedom fighter. It's just that simple. He's fighting for freedom. Support him. If you love that guy, you should be sending him $5 or $10 so that he can freedom fight. Because that's people who are in it to win it are in it to win it, And so, he's got an ego, I got an ego, and they clash. Cool, whatever. Fuck you over there. Good luck. Fight. Fight, and don't stop fighting. Don't ever stop fighting until the fight is won. Or we leave behind what? We leave behind what? What do we leave here? What do we leave? We leave what? Tyranny? So that's just how I feel, and that's just kind of a reflection on this year. And I 100% though believe that over the next couple weeks, people are going to see the power of what I do legally, and they're going to go, holy shit. That's what they're going to say. That's what they'll say. And there's a lot of people involved. There's a lot of people involved. Hey, V Boyer, I will be doing Push the Button as soon as I finish Anthony's video from Massachusetts, who's getting railroaded, you guys. He's getting railroaded. Antonio from Massachusetts is getting railroaded, and I can't wait to release. It's just such a big project. It's gonna take 2-3 days to finish it. From the time I leave here, by the way, I'm gonna work on his video on my birthday right here. Thank you, Hamzi. Thank you, Hamzi. Those are the 5 cases right there. Let's list them every time. Carroll versus United States, Brinegar versus United States, Kerr versus California, Terry versus Ohio, Graham versus Connor. Those are the 5 most important cases that have to go. You could throw Citizens United in there. You could throw Atwater versus City of Lago Vista, 2001. You know, don't push the button. I got to get the website done. I'm gonna call my buddy and see if he can get a 1-page website up. Really. Let's do that. Oh yeah, there's an agenda. There's a one world agenda. 100%. There's 100%. So I should probably get off because I've been on here for 2 hours and I've got tons of family and friends who are gonna try to reach out to me. If you guys are doing great, I did put an Amazon. Oh, Chuck, I put an Amazon wish list. Did you see it? Chuck P. I finished the Amazon wish list. I'm not sure if you saw it or not. Chuck P. has been telling me for so long to finish an Amazon wish list. I finally finished it. And by the way, there's stuff on there for people who I know who need those things. So some of those things are not for me, actually. I'm going to give them to someone else. And a couple things I took off, but I should put those things back on there because I need to get them for other people. There's a couple people who need cameras at their houses. I think I'm going to re-add that thing I took off. There's a 4-camera system I took off. I'm going to put it back on there because I have a friend who needs that 4-camera system. So I'm going to add it. Whoop, whoop, whoop. Oh, oh. Whoop, whoop, whoop. I'm gonna add it. This was a great little space that a friend hooked me up with after my Airbnb got canceled. So this was a great little space. I'm super grateful that I got it. Super grateful. These people are really sweet people who got me the space right here. So I'm going to do this right here because there's a lady who needs this.
It's limited resources at some of the
Whoa.
poorest people in America.
Whoa,
While the
did
rich
you guys see
keep
that?
getting away with skirting, if not
I'm trying to get that to stop playing.
law altogether. My point here is simple.
Did everybody go over there and
Not so much to
subscribe?
criticize the idea.
Did everybody go over here and subscribe? Make sure everybody goes over here real quick if you guys would, please. I think I do have that zoomed in. Make sure everybody goes over here if you would, because, you know, I certainly don't want this. Hey, Tay, if you ever, by any chance, see this, I don't want you to think in any way, shape, or form I was hacking you. I freaking love you. You are a treasure. You are a godsend. You bring victims on. You help people. You are awesome. So don't in any way, I mean, everybody, make sure that everybody knows. Matter of fact, just inundate her comments. DeletelawZ loves you. Just put it right in here. Just put it right in here. Just put it right in here. Put DeletelawZ loves you. I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to pop it right in her comments. DeletelawZ loves yous. There it is. DeletelawZ loves yous. There it is. Oh, she's got 2,000. I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, she gets more comments than some of the videos I make get views. So if she even notices, you know what I'm saying? She's big time. She's big time. Yeah, she got 535,000. She's huge. So when she came through my page, I was kind of fanboyed, of course. You know what I'm saying? Because it's like that's huge. But there was what I was doing here is I was going to dupe. This is what's in my Amazon wish list, but there was some, see, I told you I lost all my tennis shoes in my van. All my tennis shoes were stolen. I had all my shoes in my van because the only thing I have was shoes. I love shoes. And anyway, and then this other stuff. But then So you see this right here, this security camera here. This is for somebody else. But there was another one. This one right here. This is for a woman who wants a camera for her house, and I don't have the. So that's what that is. But there was another one that I was. Let me see. Let me go like this. Sometimes they'll put it down here. No. Yeah, when I go like this, then sometimes it'll give me other ones I can look at. So that was this one. But then there was one that I put in here that had 4 cameras in it that I wanted to get for someone. If someone got it for her. I'll find it and I'll put it in here. But, boom. What's up, Playboy? What's up? Oh, shoot. I'm sorry. I don't know if this is on my website yet or not. I talked to him earlier. Let me see if it's on DeletelawZ yet. DeletelawZ. Let's see. What's up? What's up, Playboy? I'm literally just chilling with you guys. So, you know, if you have things to do and you have important things to do, you should go do those things. Because I'm just it's my birthday. I don't really know anybody in Denver. My one buddy who I have here is still badly going through an injury recovery. So, you know, and a very good friend of mine here in Denver. I watched the fights with him last night. So, you know, it's just like my website is down, isn't it? Gosh dang it. Gosh dang it. It's why is it? What a bummer. Gosh dang it. That is such a bummer. How's the website down? God bless America. What the? It's so frustrating. I wish it was not down. Paste. There it is. Does that work? Whoa. Whoa, I think that's it. Wow, that chat's going so fast. Is that going so fast for me, or is it just because I'm looking at it right here? Some water. Charlie. Anyway, it's up. Is it up? Mine just won't do it. Let me see. I was like, what? DeletelawZ.com. Mine's not pulling up over here. Come on, sucker. Is the Amazon wishlist thing up there? That's what the guy with. I can't say anybody's name, so that's what he was gonna put up there. Mine's not up. I don't see it up. That's a bummer. That is a bummer. That's a major bummer. Gosh dang it. This. Okay. Gosh dang it. That's a bummer. That is a freaking bummer. Is it up? Does the website work? I'm going to get this thing 100% correct soon. It's not going to be long. That's that wish list. There it is. You know, it's crazy because, you know, I just, it's so funny because, you know, I just met some super, you know, rich people. And I don't know, you know, I don't know what it's like to. Oh, it is, Chuck. Do you see that Amazon wish list on there? Oh, my buddy was going to put it on there. Bye, Gloria. I didn't know you were leaving. Bye, Gloria. It's good to see you. Thanks for coming by. Thanks for spending time with me today. I don't know why the website's always going up and down. I think we're changing over servers here pretty quick. I'm pretty sure that we are. Thank you. I appreciate that. Well, the hard part is fighting against the tyrannical government, and then also fighting against tyrannical government, and then also fighting against people who just, they only care about having a name for themselves and being able to talk and being able to have a platform. Like just so you guys know, Tabitha's here, Gloria, who's taken off right now. You know, I very rarely just sit here and waste time. I put it in the chat link, NY Care. But I was saying, when I met these people who were super rich, I don't even understand what it's like to have, you know, I don't understand what it's like to have that amount of money. I don't understand that. I don't understand what it's like to meet, to understand. You know, I can't even fathom it. Do you know what I mean? It's like, I've seen it in Hollywood, and I've seen it around, and it's Boston, New York, Miami. There's some super, super rich, but I couldn't even imagine the people who I know in this world. Bye, Gloria. Good to see you. Who have this amount of money, and the people who I've met they're all humanitarians, and they give back so much. It's crazy because you hear how greedy a lot of super rich people are, and they're not. They're not. And there's that old additive, you know, about the old insult against Jewish people, how Jews are so greedy and this and that. You know, the Jewish people I knew in LA, they were not greedy at all, not even kind of, sort of. They're generous, loving, giving people. So that's just not true. That's not true at all. So that's just, it's a stupid way to see the world, basing someone on their race and saying that these people are stingy or greedy, or, you know, it's just weird. It's just weird because the people who I know in LA, a lot of people invested in me and invested in my ideas and my companies and the things that I did in this world. So I just don't see it that way. You know, I was talking to someone the other day too. I also don't understand looking at someone and saying that they're black or they're brown or they're white or they're, you know, whatever color skin they are, and saying to myself, oh, because they're that color skin, I have a judgment on them before I even have talked to the person. You know, it is? No, that's not a real, is that a troll? Is that a troll hunter who said that? Because I think this worked. Does this work? Let me see. What are you talking about? Public. Click on this. Okay. Tell me if you click on this link, if it works. Because I sent this over to my website guy, and I don't know if it doesn't work, then it won't work for him either. Just tell me if this link works, if you go anywhere from it. Just can someone who I've love you, Gloria, someone who I know, click on that. Someone who's my friend, click on that so I know. Unfortunately, the Amazon wish list is down. People are spineless. Oh, I wonder what that. Oh, is that what you're saying, Troll Hunter? That it's down for everybody? The whole thing is. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, CC, it's, you know, it's, what does that mean, Troll Hunter? Someone added all the items to their cart? What does that mean, Troll Hunter? Someone added all the items to the cart? Oh, I see. Okay. I mean, I'm new to this, guys. I've never had an Amazon wish list, so I don't know how it works. You know, I know it's great, you know, but at the same time, it's. Oh, is that what they did? Oh, okay. Let me see if I can fix it. That's terrible. That's hilarious. Is that what is hey, Troll Hunter, is that a way to troll you? Is that a way to troll you, Troll Hunter? Is that what that is? I'm just wondering. Is that a way to hurt you if you're an influencer or and you have an Amazon wish list? Is that what that is? I'm sure. I'm probably asking questions I know the answers to. I get what he said. I understood the first time. I just wanted confirmation, but I get it. Because, of course, just so you guys know, you know, I don't need more than one of those things. And some of those things I'm giving away to different people. But you know, I clicked on there that once someone bought it, it would come off because I don't need two of them. You know, if I did need two, I put two down there. But I set it up so that if people bought something from there, it would come off the wish list. So that means people, what Troll Hunter is saying is that people just they said, yes, I'll get it all, and they put it in their cart. And as soon as they did that, it emptied the wish list. So it's just another way to try to like hurt you, which is just so weird. I just can't even understand. I just can't get it wrapped around my head that you would spend your time trying to hurt another person. I just can't understand it, you know? My brain just doesn't work like that. Spending your time to hurt another. I just can't fathom it. So now I've got to manage the list. Key purchase items on the list. Unreal. Yeah, okay. I put try to. Okay. Save changes. Okay, now let's try it again and see if this works this time. Let's see. That's a really shitty thing to do, but what are you gonna do? There's nothing you can do about it. So, spending your time just to try to hurt another person. So, you know, if more than one person buy the same item, I will reveal that, and I will gift that item to someone else who could use it, just so you guys know. If that's, you know. Yoki Tasha's back with the vengeance. I mean, Yoki Tasha, you were pretty much snuffed out, bro. You were pretty much sniffed out by a few people. So anyway, if anybody goes to the wish list and gets any of those things, I will just what I'll do is I'll just manually go in there and just take it off, because I'll get a notification, I think. I don't know. It's supposed to be on my website, but let me see. For now, says Troll Hunter. For now, says the Troll Hunter. Got it. Oh. Okay. So I can't. You know, I made that shoe list last night at like 4 o'clock in the morning when I was, you know, starting to fade off. So I don't know what's on there. I just threw it up there as quick as I could. Yeah. It's so funny. I do too, Yoshi. I feel really bad for you, dude. Like, just such a weird human being. Like just, I do understand. Listen. How do I say that without sounding like a freaking douchebag? But I do understand that people understand that I won't stop until I get into power, because there has to be one good person who gets into power. There has to be one good person who gets to executive power in the United States. And until we get there, we will not get freedom and liberty in this country. So I'm gonna get there. So I think that a lot of people see that, like this crazy person here, Yoshi, whoever he is, and they just want to get close to me. They just want to be close to me in some way. That's the only thing I can think of, you know? The obsession with me is so strange, you know? I understand I have such a powerful personality that there's some people who know, and you may know it, I'm not stopping until I get into executive power. We're not just gonna elect the richest people's kids and think that we're gonna get change and gonna get the same tired crap, the same tired Republican Democrat. I haven't even begun. I have a 10-year plan. 10 years. I have a 10-year plan. Listen, my family's trying to get through. I gotta jump off this call. I'm sorry, you guys. I gotta go. They're trying to reach me. Let me just tell them I'll call them right back. Hi. I'll call you right back. Love you. So, that's the only I can consider. So, I just know that we're not going to stop until we get there. I give you my word, I will not stop. I don't give a shit I don't care. I'm only 48 years old. I've got 30 years left. I can change this country. And I will, I promise. I won't stop. We don't stop. You guys, thanks everybody for coming for my birthday. I'm so, so grateful. Thank all of you. Thank you. Todd Norton, thank you, dude. Thank you, I appreciate it, man. God bless you, Todd, I appreciate that. Yeah, I think that chick's channel is gonna go down this week or next week by the 21st. So I will. Listen, love you guys. V Boyer, thank you. P Rex, thank you. Mikey, thank you. Kinetic Customs, thank you. Citizen Broadcast, thank you. Terry, thank you. Troll Hunter, thank you. Tabitha, thank you. Shock Professor, thank you. Todd Norton, of course, thank you. I appreciate it. SWE Observer, thank you. Chuck, thank you. Gerald, thank you. Tommy, thank you. Tabitha, thank you. I appreciate you. James, thank you. And NY Care 1, thanks. I appreciate it. Natural Order, thank you. Thank you guys all. Chevy, thank you. I appreciate it. Jeff Hates Pigs, thank you. Robert, thank you guys. I appreciate everybody who came here to spend a couple hours with me on my birthday. Melanie, thank you. I appreciate it so much. Thank you for coming. KP, we don't stop, all right? I will get the flock out of here. Rock and roll, baby, we don't stop. Launchpad, thank you. I appreciate everybody so much this year. Alpha Overseer, nice to see you, man. Blue Ivy, good to see you. Tracking the Dwarf Lantern, good to see you, man. It's good to see everybody. I'm just shout. Bruce, thanks for the year. Tribe, thanks for this year. Tommy, thanks for this year. I appreciate it. Super, super appreciate it. Thank you for this year. You guys have helped me so much. Patricia, thank you. David Turner, gracias amigo of the tribe. Gregory, I appreciate you, man. Thanks. This was a long one, but I just wanted to, Angel Frogmaster, appreciate you, man. I just wanted to spend my time with you guys because we've been so, Bruce, we've been so close this year. We've gone through so, you guys, I feel like we've just become this thing, and Cope Doggy. Thank you, brother. You have been a godsend on this journey, and I won't stop. And I know not going to stop either. So anyway, listen, before I start crying here on my birthday because I'm overwhelmed with everybody's names and remembering their memories, I'll get the flock out of here. God bless you guys. God bless the United States. We don't stop. I'll see you guys on the next one. Tabitha, see you guys on the next one. Later, Gator.